Hi everyone. Hello viewers and my dear students. This is Dr. K. Srivani, Assistant Professor, Department of Economics, Shatavana University, Karimnagar, Telangana State. In this video, we have a discussion on public sector. Okay, in this we have various contents we will cover. Define the public sector. What are the types of public sector? Features and merits of public sector. What is the definition of public sector? So it is a portion of the economy composed of all levels of government and government controlled enterprises. What are the all levels of government? Local, state, center or federal. These are all are the governments has invest on different types of industry and enterprises. Okay, it does not include private companies, voluntary organizations and households. Okay, the private public sector, it is a poorly run by the government. The government, it includes local, state, federal. Okay, it does not include the private companies, private investors, voluntary organizations and households and firms. Okay, whatever it may be other than public investment, not included in the public sector. The public sector of an economy is the sector. Public sector, it is of an economy, is the sector that provides a range of governmental services. Okay, what the private public sector is providing a range of governmental services. Okay, including infrastructure, public transportation, public health, education, police and military services. These are all are services and goods provided by the government from the public sector. Okay, or public enterprise, and different classification is also there in the public sector. Okay, so public enterprises, general government. In the general government we have the central government, state government, local government. Okay, these are all a level of government. Okay, central, state, local. And other classification of public enterprise, public corporations. Okay, public enterprises is run by the all the level of government or and public corporations. Okay, this is the classification of the public enterprises or public sector enterprises. Okay, public sector organizations. Okay, public sector organization, public sector enterprise, public sectors. It is all are the same meaning. Okay, you don't confuse about this. So, public sector organizations are formed in three different forms: Uh, departmental undertakings, public corporations, statutory corporations. Okay, government companies. This is the classification of the public sector organizations or public enterprises or public sector. Okay. So, departmental undertakings. We have the classification under departmental undertakings. That is a post, okay, posts, telegraph, railways, All India Radio, Doordarshan, ordnance factories. Okay, these are all our industries are covered in the departmental undertakings. Okay, and statutory corporations: Food Corporation of India, Food Corporation of India, Industrial Finance Corporation of India, Life Insurance Corporation of India, Unit Trust of India, State Trading Corporations. These are all are the statutory corporations. And government companies: Hindustan Missions Tools and Steel Authority of India, Hindustan Shipyard. Okay, these are all the government, purely government is invested on those are all are companies and producing the commodities. Okay, this is the public sector organizations departmental undertakings, statutory corporations, government companies. Okay, this is the structure of the public sector organizations. So what is the departmental undertakings? This is the oldest form of public sector enterprises. Okay, the departmental undertakings is considered as one of the departments of government. It has no separate existence than the government. It functions under the overall control of one ministry or department of government. Okay, departmental undertakings, whatever the production is going to be produced by the particular whatever services, goods in the railways, post and telegraph, broadcasting, telephone services, these are all are the run by the one of the ministry and the department of government. Okay, if we take the railways ministry, railways departments. Okay, postal departments, post, and in the central governments and state governments has framed as a ministries also for the particular sectors. Okay, broadcasting, telephone services, these are we have take the these are all of the examples under the departmental undertakings. In this, the government is framed, established one of the ministries, departments for the particular, these are all of the examples like railways, post, telegraph. Okay, the ministries is going to the under is supervise regulated policies framed for the particular productions, for the particular industries, services, service sectors also. Okay, this is the departmental undertakings. So what are the features of the departmental undertakings? Features are the characteristics of departmental undertakings. The main characteristics are this: operate under the overall control of one of the ministries of central and state government. Okay, it means, what is the first characteristic? Operate under the overall control of one of the ministries. Okay, overall the control of the production, overall the control of the department, railways, post office, telephone, telegraphs, goods and services is going to be under the control of the ministries of central and state governments. Okay, another feature is they are a part of government only. There is no separate entity. There is no separate entity. There is no separate um, independent authorities not there. Only it is a part of the government. What is central or state? And one other characteristic is the revenue of departmental undertakings is deposited in the treasury of the government. Okay, what amount is um, getting from the railways, post office, telephone, telegraph services, that amount is called the revenue. That revenue is going to be deposited in the treasury of the government itself. Okay, they are financed from the annual budgets of the government. Okay, that allocation of financial resources by the government to the various departments in the departmental undertakings. Okay, this is the characteristic or the features of departmental undertakings. So what are the merits of the departmental undertakings? It is a very easy to form a departmental as no registration is compulsory. This is the one of the merits. And there is a direct parliamentary control. The performance of departmental undertakings can be discussed in the parliament. So there is a public accountability. Okay, in the departmental undertakings, one of the merit is there is a public accountability. Every people is the accountability, and government is accountability for the uh, investing of 1 rupee in the any departments. The revenue of departmental undertakings is deposited in the treasury. Okay, previous slide we have discussed whatever the revenue is getting from the production or services, that revenue is must be deposited in the treasury of the government also. So these undertakings help to increase the government revenue. Okay, and in the departmental undertakings is providing the revenue to the government. Okay, that's why the government revenue is year by year, day by day is increasing of the government revenue. Okay, these are all the merits of the departmental undertakings. Okay, now I have the insert one figure, that Doordarshan and Air Indian Railways. Okay, post office. Okay, these are all of the main things have been merits of departmental undertakings. So public corporations, statutory corporations. Okay, it is the statutory corporation is a body corporate formed by a special act of parliament or by the central or state legislature. It is fully financed by the government, and the powers, objectives, limitations, etc. is by the government are decided. Whatever the powers, objectives, limitations as decided by the government of India or any government or by the act of legislature. For example, we have the statutory corporation, public corporations, Indian Airlines, Air India, State Bank of India, Life Insurance Corporation of India, Food Corporation of India, Oil and Natural Gas Corporations. These are all are the have the statutory corporations bodies. Okay, this has provided by the services to the peoples in the society. The next, what are the characteristics or features of the public corporations? Or it is created by an act of parliament or central or state legislature. Okay, central or state legislature. It is the public corporation is the act is passed in the parliament. The powers, objectives, limitations of the public corporation defined in the act only. Okay, in the act, in the parliament act, which is passed in the pass in the parliament. After that, passed and agreement of that act, it will be passed and it will be implemented in the society. Whatever the object is, powers, okay, limitations, it has been defined in the act only. Okay, under the total control of state, central or state government operations of a public corporation takes place. Okay, central state government operations of public corporations also we can see. And a public corporation is a separate legal entity. It gets incorporated automatically when the act is passed in the parliament. Okay, it is a separate legal entity. Okay, the Food Corporation of India, Oil and Natural Gas Corporation of LIC, these are all are the special legal entity. Okay, merits of a public corporations. A public corporation is able to manage its affairs with independence and flexibility. Okay, the public corporation has a special independence and flexibility also is there, and freedom, free from red tape, and there is a less of file work, less formality to be completed before taking decisions. And the activities of public corporations are discussed in the parliament. This ensure the protection of public interest. Okay, in whatever act is passed in the parliament, that is a public interest only. That's why the public it ensures the public corporations, it ensures the public interest. Okay, so these are the merits of the public corporations. And what are the government companies? So the company in which at least 51% of the paid up share capital is held by the central or state government or partially by central or state government is government company. Okay, the 51% as of a share of the capital by the central or state, that is called the government company. The government companies are governor rules by the provisions of the Companies Act 2013 like any other registered companies. For example, Steel Authority of India, State Trading Corporation, Hindustan Mission, Tools. These are all the government companies. It is invested 51% paid up share capital by the different governments. Features: registration is a compulsory according to the Companies Act 1951. Ownership: the company compulsory have the owned by the government. Okay, next, the government is managed by the different structure is also there, directors and the shareholders. The government has the authority to appoint majority of the directors. Okay, as the flexibility, as the accessibility, we have the appointment of the majority of the directors also to take the decisions with efficiently. We have the merits of the government companies also, free from government political interference also there, and the government companies managed, financed and audited just as any other private sector company. Okay, just like private companies have manager finance also there, that like that government companies also have manager finance audited. and greater flexibility is also there, freedom of operation is also there, quickness of action is running the enterprises. Okay, quickness of action uh, is also very important for the development of the enterprises. The government companies can avail and accommodate managerial skills, technical know-how or expertise of the private enterprise by conveniently collaborating with it. Okay, the government companies is maybe will collaborate it with the private enterprises. So uh, government companies can accommodate manager skills, technical know how they technically handle the companies, how the production is innovatively produced with the different innovative production methods. So how expertise the public enterprises by the convenient collaborate with it. Okay, if the government companies will also collaborate with the private enterprises for their innovation purpose. Okay, okay, this is the public sector. What is the public sector? What are the main features of the public sector? So we have discussed in this video. Okay, further video we have private sector. Okay, thank you for watching this video.